This is Heartland Focus with Tim Clark.
Hey. Welcome to Heartland Focus. Happy holidays and really happy New Year to everyone. This is going to be I'm anticipating a great new year in terms of 2022. We're going to spend some time today, though, kind of recapping 21. And I think you got to really pay attention to your past so it can help you really as you look at navigating your future. So we're going to just recap that, good, bad, the ugly, and then we're going to throw it away, 21, and we're going to focus on really what we should expect and the things we should look towards for 2022. Joining me in terms of this 2021 recap on Heartland Focus is my man, Michael Scott. Michael, welcome to Heartland Focus, man.
You know, I didn't even know we were on. I thought you were practicing.
No, I don't know.
Because I didn't hear a countdown. I was going, he's on the air.
No, the countdown is in my ear, not yours, okay?
Yeah. I was waiting for the countdown. Hey, man, we survived another year.
Another year.
And what a year.
Yeah. And so when you think about really all the different things from climate, people are talking about global warming, and you got still dealing with the insurrection. How would you really summarize? I know we're going to do a deep dive into some. I want to talk about some of these things, but what's on your mind in terms of just 21 and how it plays in terms of your mind?
I have to keep remembering that there's been a time in my life that I said, this is the worst year. 1968. Tet Offensive in Vietnam.
Wow.
The highest death toll in Vietnam that year. Martin Luther King is assassinated. Robert Kennedy is assassinated. The Democratic National Convention in Chicago goes wild. People arrested. Yeah. Everybody thought right then that was the end of democracy. And of course, we got Nixon in office, okay? Nixon is like our version of Trump here, okay? Where you don't want to let go. We survived it, though.
Yeah.
We survived. In fact, that end of that year.
How did we survive that? Because when you think about it, sometimes, I mean, because we're here in a space right now where people think is the worst.
Well, I think hope. It's such a simple word. You hope things get better. You try to be around people who are positive. I'm not a therapist or anything like that.
Right.
But I'd much rather be around people who are happy, not delusional, but happy.
Right.
You know, a few months ago, I posted on Facebook, I said, since September, I've had 6 people die in my life, including my sister. If I get one more death, I get a free dozen donuts. You gotta laugh at stuff like that. And then I just found out 2 nights ago, somebody else I know is in the hospital, may not make it to the end of the year. But you just have to keep going on here.
That's that hope you're talking about.
What was the first thing you knew when 2021? What was the first thing that happened that you went, oh man, this isn't gonna be a good year?
Yeah.
What was it?
For me,
it was Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe died. Kobe Bryant died.
Yeah.
And everybody was stunned. And it was so funny because in 2019...
how he died.
Yeah. And in 2019, I remember when I was working at that radio station in North Omaha, and we were going, 2019 is a lousy month. 2020's got to be better because 2020, everything's clearer. You can see. And then what happened with 2020?
That's right.
You know,
some people are calling 2020 kind of a lost year.
It is. The last... First of all, we can't even put it into years. We have to almost put it into an era. You know, I was sitting in church a couple of weeks ago. Yes, I try to make it there.
Okay.
And as someone told me...
Please bless him. I didn't bring my oil to anoint you. Anoint you, but...
I took the Mass in Latin. I was watching 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds with masks on. And I'm going, this is their norm.
Yeah.
This is what they're going to be telling their grandkids about. Well, I remember when I was a grandkid, Mom and Dad said I had to wear this mask. And the thing you have to consider here is, this is going to continue.
Yeah. And a friend, to that point, Michael, a friend of mine's, my reality when I said, you know what, a friend of mine, she lives in Togo, She's from Togo, and she said perhaps you should visit Togo. I've never been I've never been to Africa, and I said, well, I'm probably going to wait until things get better to travel out of the country. And she looked at me and said, I think we're going to have to get accustomed to living with this situation.
Yeah. She's right. She's right.
You know?
You think about it too, and you're old enough to remember. There was a time here in America we were afraid to get on planes because of hijackings. Okay?
Fact.
But we finally said, I got to go see my mom.
Yeah.
I got to go somewhere. I got to get to these places.
Yeah.
I'll take a chance.
Do you think, when you think about, that thing of hope that you talked about?
Don't worry, I'm
okay.
not pitching a brand.
Okay, please. This thing of hope. How do we really, when you think it's, it seems that people are dying. You had folks die. I've had people die in my family, but gloom and doom. But I think as a people, we find a way to live. It seems very dark right now.
When you say as a people, are we talking blacks or Americans?
American.
Okay.
As Americans, we find a way to come together. But it seems like something is continuing to pull us apart, and it has to do with, where there's no facts. I think where there's no facts, there's no real movement and solutions, because people right now, they don't believe what they see. Michael is on my set, but no, he's not on my set, really. Kind of the Matrix, kind of thing. And I think, how do we get back to where facts matter?
Doubting Thomas in the Jesus story, he would not have been the exception today. No, he didn't come back. He didn't come back at all.
He didn't come back. I
don't even think he died, to be honest with you. I think he was in Jersey.
See, that's so that's dangerous. Mm-hmm. It really is dangerous, where you still have a whole lot of people out here that feel that President Joe Biden is not the president.
I know, that's scary.
And these are smart people, man.
And I think it was a number of like 33% of Republicans don't acknowledge him as the president.
Yeah.
That's scary. See, the thing also you have to understand too is the Civil War in this country never ended. Yeah. What we just saw happen January 6th is another chapter of it, okay?
Yeah.
When some people in this country don't like the way things are going. I don't care what anybody who's trying to...
Why it didn't end?
Why do people who try to rewrite the South about what happened and say, no, it wasn't slavery? Yes, it was slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even their leaders, go read their letters, they said it was slavery. Don't tell me it's that. Yeah, it's state rights to own slaves. Okay, And
it was law.
Yeah, that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But we... Think about it. Nazi Germany. You drive around Germany today, you don't see any statues to Adolf Hitler. You don't see the Nazi flag hanging out of buildings. When you lose, you're over. General Grant made some very nice concessions for the Confederacy at Appomattox, okay? Yeah, you can take your horse, you can take your guns, we're not going to stop you, nobody's getting arrested, just go home. It's over. No, it's not over. As we saw during, oh my God.
Yeah.
When the KKK and came attacking the voters and stuff like that. Man, talk about old age. My mind just clicked out.
Right. Hey, breathe. That means you just need more oxygen.
Well, I should tell you, this guy contacted me this morning and go, hey, did you hear my show?
Okay, tell it all, Michael. Tell it all. But I tell you, though, it's some of the things that we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I want to talk about really kind of what happened in terms of 21, what's still happening for the hearings with the insurrection that took place January 6th, but really the impact that's going to have on us moving forward. Yeah. Let's think about that. Let's talk about that a little bit. But then this thing of hope. I want you to share. Your brother. You're a very seasoned brother. You've been
seasoned older?
You've been around the world. Yeah. You. So I want some of that wisdom that we can share with our viewers. So we're gonna take a break.
Sounds good.
Okay. When we come back, we're gonna talk about really what's happening in this country that will cause us to break if we don't wake up. Please stay with me. When we come back, my guest, Michael Scott, is going to give his thoughts in terms of our way forward. Hey, Michael. Hey, this way, man. This way.
I'm just looking. You got new graphics.
Yeah, new
Look at that one's
graphics.
new too.
Yeah. Okay.
HF.
Okay.
Household Finance.
Man, I tell you, I've been doing this 8 years, man. I tell you, I'm feeling kind of old there. But
Yeah, just think, about another 10 years, some young guy's going to be sitting here interviewing you.
Right. Well, I tell you, so Michael, we were talking about wrapping up 21, and really one of the points of, I would say, that would really capture our attention was this continuation of the hearings with the insurrection. And most recently now they're talking about the money trail. They're tracking how did this thing get financed?
Again, let me take you back a few years.
Okay, all right, okay. Our big brother almighty.
I would say to anyone out there, watch the movie All the President's Men with Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman. The thing is, we didn't believe that something like that could happen back then. And you're watching this movie and you're going, oh my God, it can happen.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we have to bring to here. We need a media which is strong and digging constantly, a legitimate media, okay? The ones like the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, a conservative paper, but still a paper of record, and many of the TV networks. We need, the stuff we are finding out, a lot of it is coming from television and newspapers, especially the Washington Post and the New York Times.
There's so much misinformation out there.
I know, and people, they need to cull through everything and try to make sense of it, okay? As I always tell people, if someone sends you something on Facebook, before you hit share, check it.
That's right.
And if the headline says, baby dog adopts a pizza, you go and Google, baby dog adopts pizza? Let's see if that's true before you send it.
But do you feel that we've moved into this, decision by opinions? Because what you're doing is you're saying, hey, check the facts. But is right now in your mind, Michael, does opinion matter more than facts?
If you work for Fox News, it does.
Wow.
Because it's not Fox News
I'm going to
anymore.
invite somebody from Fox over now. You threw that out.
It's Fox Noise. It's not Fox News. You think about it. Chris Wallace, Mike Wallace's son, Integrity, just walked away from it.
Wow.
Shepard Smith, another one of their reputable, which I was surprised because he's gay, but he had a show of his own. He walked away from it, went to CNBC. Because the news divisions in Fox maybe are trying to tell the truth, but when you've got a morning show, Fox and Friends, and you got an idiot like Hannity and a traitor like Tucker Carlson, you got a problem. Tucker Carlson knows what he's saying is not true, but he keeps saying it.
That's dangerous, and that's what's been happening. And that's really, when you think about, and when I think about my pain points of what keep me up at night, is those kind of things. But one of the things I want to get to, this whole thing of, I'm a fan of The Matrix, and I think. Have
you seen the new one yet?
Yes.
Is it any good?
It's very good.
I'm gonna check it out.
I won't tell you. I won't spoil it for you. But here's the thing. Here's my point. This thing is we become so conditioned to, we didn't, like you were saying, who would have thought? Who would have dreamed we would be here? And what I think COVID-19 is some of the things, even with the social injustice, it really is causing us to wake up. That not that it wasn't there, that it wasn't, it is never was there. It's just we allowed ourselves, like you said, we never ended the civil war. We still
Fighting the same old fights.
exactly because we don't take care of the business we need to take care of at this point, and we kicked the barrel, kicked the bucket,
Kick the can down the
can
road.
down the road, and here we're still dealing with what? Racism,
Gerrymandering.
gerrymandering, all that stuff, man. So now my show is known for light, hope. I want to spend some time on solutions. I mean, when you think about, let's take it from a global perspective, national, and then we're going to localize, because there is enormous opportunities in front of us. But I think, before you jump in, I think a lot of it is we have not chosen to take self out and do things for the greater good of humanity, man. It sounds like some upward people stuff, you know, but it's just, it's so true. We have to look at the common good, and we're moving that away. It's party, it's Republican, Democrat, and it's like, when you think about just the commitment to former President Trump, why? Why are people still supporting a lie?
Well, I guess the other question, too, is what has the Republican Party done for the country in the last year when it comes to legislation?
I mean, that's a whole nother show. And again, calling them out like that, we most definitely have to.
Because all they want to do right now is just say no.
Yeah.
No. Anything he does, no. No. Well, then give me an alternative then. Give me something else.
They're buying time.
Yeah.
Until
2022.
Exactly. So, point though, let's give some light.
Okay.
What's the hope and
me
the
give you some.
light? And, you know,
I think
where do we go?
change has to start in your community. It has to start in your heart. It has to start in your home, your schools, your church, on the job. And I think what you need to do is you need to tie yourself to projects which you believe will help you and help your community in the long run. As you know, I'm working with Ernie Chambers' daughter, Gayla. She's trying to put together this massive center to
Legacy,
honor her father.
capture all that.
And, you know, she's got a media center, which she's asked me to help, and a museum and the whole schmear, 56,000 square feet.
That's big.
But these are the things we need to work on. We need, you know, when she told me about it, I said, you know what? I'm in the last chapters of my life. It'd be nice to do something like this and do it for the community and do it for you and your father. So that's how you have to think about it. These are things that you want to accomplish.
And something bigger than you. That's bigger than you.
And, you know, maybe I'll get a high school named after me. Or at least a journalism class, for God's sake.
Okay. So your hope, your light is really looking outward to how can you better yourself to better the community.
I think, I don't know if you've ever done it, but I used to do it in the past, where Thanksgiving, Christmas, you go down and serve food at Salvation. And I took, you know, my wives to do it, and they'd never done it before. And they were like, oh, no, I see why you do it. It's really fun. You feel good. You don't feel guilty as you eat your dinner later on that day. So these are the good things. What'd you lose, your keys?
Man, see, we're so plugged into the matrix. I was like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? And one of the things that in 22, Michael, I'm gonna really put in some more effort into unplugging. I mean, and unplugging meaning turning off the phone, reading more books, taking a little bit more me time. It just, what drives us, our time, is social media. I don't know how much time you spend on social media returning
way too much time.
Point.
I got addicted to TikTok last month.
See, TikTok. you look at one reel and you're just like,
and then you go, it's an hour and a half later.
Exactly. And I think what's so fearful with all this social media and so access to so much information is these learned behaviors and algorithms and things like that that chase you and keep you in, and it keeps making you go deeper and deeper and deeper. And I think what I would challenge people to do for 22, it's just unplug. I mean, it's not. It's like just do it, like Nike, but you don't have to do it. I mean, it's kind of like a drug addict or a smoker. It's like, just stop smoking, Michael.
Here's a small step. The next time you go to a doctor's office or any kind of waiting room, don't go on your phone. There are other people in there. Talk to them.
Ooh, you're asking too much.
Talk to them.
That's
Because
right. That's true.
you remember before the phone, you'd sit there and you go, so how long have you been seeing this doctor?
Right. You'll learn a little bit about each other.
You know, are you happy with him? Oh, yeah, okay, good. Oh, he took care of my 3 kids? Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's like going on Facebook to get a review. I just got a review in the doctor's office. Talk to people. Communication, you and I both were fed,
Not through phone.
we were fed that dogma about you break down the walls when people get to know who you are. And I need to see you face to face,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm not texting you. This is what I'm all about. You understand what I'm saying. There's no misconception with the word improperly used.
That's right.
So-
That's right. Yeah. We're going to take a short break. We got to pay some bills. But when we come back for the last segment, Michael, let's leave the audience. Think about really some things we can leave them with.
You gonna try to make me get profound and stuff?
I know.
I'm not that type of person.
I know.
Oh, you wanted Ernie here, not me.
No. I want it because I think there is.
Let's go to break. Let's go to break.
You can do this, Michael. You can do it. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Hey, stay with me. We'll be right back with our final thoughts about 21 and moving into 22. Stay with me. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you, man. I thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. But as we wrap up, what's on your mind in terms of just the not all the pain. I know I got that look. Ted, he's gonna be okay. Ted, he's gonna be okay. But I want some lift. I mean, I want to give people. You started off with this word hope. It's a small word, 4-letter word. Talk to me, man. How do we get up and get out?
Dealing with what we're dealing right now, a COVID. Okay, this thing is dangerous. This is a time when government and municipalities need to step up and say, if you are in a uniform and you're a firefighter or you're a police officer or if you're a teacher, you get mandatory vaccination. If you don't bother coming to work, okay? You're suspended without pay. And you know what?
Civil liberties
The president,
choice.
The president has to come down and say, this is an emergency situation.
That's
I
right.
am now federalizing all National Guard units. Their medical facilities are now at the hands of the local municipalities. They need help. They need it fast. People need to get vaccinated. Stop playing games. One of our local police officials, who's a union leader, he wasn't on board with COVID. He's on board now because he almost died from it, okay?
Yeah.
Don't make it have to be a hard, brutal lesson. Be an adult. Step up. You got to wear seatbelts in a car. You got to wear a motorcycle helmet.
You got to put on shoes when you go in a restaurant.
Before our time in Up With People, there was a song that said, freedom isn't free. You got to pay the price. You got to sacrifice for your liberty. You want to live in America? Play by the rules to save you and other Americans. Until next time, take care of one another.
Hey, that was beautiful, man. I mean, and really summing that up is we gotta sacrifice.
Yeah.
We're at war.
You just said the word war, and people are always going, well, how come the government didn't know this? This is a war. When you fight a war, you don't know what the enemy's going to do. You got to retreat.
That's right.
And go back and attack it again.
That's right.
This disease is like whack-a-mole, okay? You got to destroy the whole machine. You just can't keep hitting heads.
That's right.
But again, it's a military operation. Why do you think he's called the Surgeon General? It's a military operation.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you, man. I
Hey,
appreciate
thanks
you,
for having
man.
me on, buddy.
Right on, brother. I tell you, as we wrap up, one of the things that I hope, and especially in terms of folks that are still choosing not to be vaccinated, if you make that choice, please be responsible.
Stay home.
Or one another thing, Michael, is if you're in a group of people, let them know that you're not vaccinated. Don't walk in like you're perfect, you're fully vaccinated, and there's too many people not saying anything. That's why I'm out of time, but I'm starting to practice the Ronald Reagan. I trust but verify. I'm going to ask you, Michael, are you vaccinated?
And also, there's a nice touch I saw someone do on television the other day. It was like, do you mind if I hug you? You ask now to hug somebody.
That's right.
And if they're not vaccinated, they go, well, you may not want to.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. Hey, that's all. That's all for this episode of Heartland Focus. Thank you for taking the time to tune in, and I really make today. This is New Year. This is the first day of the new year. Do what it takes to lean forward. Be good to yourself. Until next time, take the time to lean forward. Do what it takes to be good to yourself and to make it so much easier to be good to others. I'm out of here.